are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome to Focus on Germantown. I'm Mayor Mike Palazzolo, and it's my privilege to be your mayor and host. Each month, the focus is on city government and how it provides services and works with you, our citizens, to make Germantown a great place to live. In Germantown, public safety is a top priority. Joining us today from the Germantown Fire Department is Captain Howard Thompson, known as Jelly to his many friends and coworkers. Jelly is the Technical Safety Officer for the Germantown Fire Department. He joins us today to discuss the importance of ham radio to our emergency services. From firefighters to Firehouse subs, Germantown Police were recently awarded a grant from Firehouse subs for 2 handheld thermal imagers. Germantown SWAT Team Captain Nick Godwin and Germantown Firehouse subs owner Jim Maxwell will join us to talk about this innovative new technology and the amazing foundation behind this gift. We will end the show with Germantown Community Library Director Daniel Page. Daniel will share stories about some competitive, well-read students. And it's not just words grabbing attention at the library. There are some amazing numbers we will discuss as well. But first, when disaster hits a community, cell phone towers and internet connections are often lost. Our public safety officers will tell you amateur radio can be a major part of disaster communications, making ham operators an asset to have in a community. Captain Howard Thompson, also known as Jelly, is the Technical Safety Officer for Germantown Fire Department. Welcome to the Focus on Germantown, Jelly.
Thank you, Mayor. How are you?
Well, you know, I'm not going to ask you how you got your nickname, but I am going to ask you, please share with our audience how long you've been with the Germantown Fire Department as a volunteer and then as full-time.
42 years.
Amazing. And quickly, you started as a...
I started as a volunteer as a high school cadet back in 1972, actually. We had the high school program. When all the people were at work, it was just us high schoolers.
Well, I tell you what, there are only a few of you left, but we're glad that you're with us and you are the backbone of our fire department. Well, please share with us a little bit about ham and what that means to the community, and maybe just tell us a little bit about people that are ham operators.
Ham radio operators are people who have decided to get into the hobby. They can talk locally, across the country, across the state, and even around the world. They also use it in time of emergencies and other disasters to communicate when regular public safety cell and other forms of communications go down.
And this is important in a community, even with a community that has such great technology like Germantown. Disaster can affect at any time, and what do we have to rely on if it does?
Right. Germantown is very forward-thinking. Our particular public safety radio is pretty resilient. We've designed it to be that way. But cell phone towers can go down. They're all linked by fiber optics and power. If you lose power, you lose, if they don't have a battery backup or a generator to them, they're gone. Most cell phone towers, if a tornado or something comes through, they might move a little bit and lose their ability to communicate. They may lose their power, or in an event of a flood, the electronics just floods out and shorts out.
Well, and some people think that ham is a little bit of a lost art, so to speak, but in our community we have organization and we have a lot of operators, do we not?
Right. We formed the Neshoba Amateur Radio Club about 2 years ago. We have 75 rostered members. We practice and train. We use our amateurs at the Christmas parade, at the 4th of July, at the festival. And whatever other event that they want to, they become an extra set of eyes and ears. They bring their own equipment. They do and they assist the parks or the fire. In the event of the 4th of July, they have helped find lost children, have called in broken arms quicker than if the police may be somewhere else, the fire may be somewhere else. It kind of goes like that.
Now you have trials in practice. I think you referred to them as field days. Can you tell us a little bit about how many you have and when those occur?
We have quarterly training objectives that we do through the state called the state OXCOM drills, and then field day is an event that happens once a year. It's kind of amateur radio open house, and anybody can come. And if you ever thought about being interested in ham radio, this is the place. Even if you don't have a license, we have a way to put you on the radio, and you can talk across the state or across the world.
Well, I know I visited at C.O. Franklin Park when you had field day maybe last year or a couple of years ago. Do you rotate around to get different exposure to different areas or terrain or that type of thing, or does that really matter?
It doesn't really matter. This year we're doing it at C.O. Franklin Park again on June 22nd. Like I said, it's an open house and anybody can come, but it's involving 4 of the clubs that are in the area. Of course, Neshoba is the host with Germantown Fire Department sponsoring it. Tri-State, Delta, and Aries are all groups that are participating in this one this year here at Germantown.
Are those the groups that are in the Shelby, Memphis metropolitan area, or are they any from out of state or all West Tennessee?
They are a small number of the Shelby County groups. There are two other groups, which is Mars and Tri-State.
So in the case of a disaster, a train derailment, a tornado, would these groups kind of come together and be at the assistance of a fire or police department?
Right. We can call on the different presidents of the clubs and get their people together. Aries, one of the major groups right now, their whole sole responsibility, or part of their responsibility, is to man the hospitals. When communications go down or get overloaded, they're there to assist in getting communications between the various hospitals. How many beds? If they have enough medicine, do they have a certain type of doctor that they may need in another hospital? In the event of a disaster, they're going to go to every hospital. So some hospitals are not going to have everything they need, and they may have to borrow from the others.
Well, and Germantown being very much a healthcare provider for the greater region with so many clinics, and with Methodist Germantown Le Bonheur as well, that's got to be very important. You know, our city does a lot of CERT training, citizen emergency response training. We also have different citizen academies for police and fire. Does HAM, would they work with those groups as well in the case of emergency?
Right. CERT is a push. They do push amateur radio. In the CERT as your community emergency response team coordinator maybe in your area, you could actually have a ham radio channel, and we have ham radio in the fire department's mobile communication truck that we can put somebody on, and we would check in and say, my community's okay, or here's what I need if the phones are all that were down. They also can, if the police department were to call them for search and rescue, they could be at corners and intersections and help coordinate certain things. Some of our ham club members are also CERT. We have a lot of reserve police officers who are ham radio operators. Some of the firemen. It just grows and grows for the backup communications that it supports.
Well, and you've been with us 42 years. A lot of people may not know technical advisory support. I have visited your shop before, and it's a magic. I don't want to call you Mr. Gadget, but share with us a little bit about what you do on a day-to-day basis with the fire department.
I take care of the breathing air apparatus, some of the radio systems, some of the computer system. I work with the IT department. I take care of the tornado sirens? The tornado sirens. I repair the ambulances, the radio stuff on them, and some of the other equipment. Just kind of whatever they need, I take care of.
Well, we got time for really one more question. If you wanted to give some advice to someone who wanted to try out ham and become maybe an amateur operator, what do they need to do? Visit a website, or how would they get more information? We
advertise the classes on the Germantown Fire Department Facebook page. There are 6 clubs in the area. You don't have to be an amateur to visit them. They'll accept you and take anybody. You can call me through the fire department and I'll talk to you. Or you can find anybody with an antenna on their car. That's usually a ham radio operator, and they'll be more than happy to tell you anything you want to know.
Great, Jelly. Next time you're on, we're going to get where the nickname came from. Okay. Really appreciate you being on the show. When we come back, we will see the new high-tech equipment Germantown police officers now have to assist them in search and rescue operations. Stay with us.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back to Focus on Germantown. The Germantown Police Department was recently the recipient of a grant in excess of $6,000 from the Firehouse Subs Foundation. This grant helped the department purchase 2 handheld thermal imagers. Captain Nick Godwin of the Germantown Police Department and SWAT team is here to show us this cool new equipment, and Jim Maxwell from Firehouse Subs is here to talk about the Firehouse Subs Foundation. Welcome to the show, guys.
Good afternoon.
Man, it's great. I'm so excited about this grant and our relationship with Firehouse Subs, and of course our police department is thrilled to be the recipient. Jim, please share with our audience a little bit about your store. How long have you been in Germantown now, and why did you pick Germantown to open up a restaurant?
Well, we've been in business 11 years now, and when I had the opportunity to join Firehouse Subs, the Memphis area was open, and my parents are from Memphis, and I've been coming to Memphis off and on since I was a wee little boy. And I had aunts and uncles who have lived in the Germantown area, so when this area was open and we opened the first Firehouse Subs in Shelby County, we picked Germantown.
Well, we're glad you did. It seems like yesterday I was at your grand opening ribbon cutting for the Chamber of Commerce, and it's been 11 years. That has gone by quickly. And certainly we hope you're here for 11 more or even longer if you like. Well, tell us a little bit about the Firehouse Subs Foundation. I think we hear a lot of the commercials and the way the company started, but how did the foundation get started?
Well, it was founded by the founders of Firehouse Subs, Chris and Robin Sorensen. And what happened was when Katrina hit the Gulf Coast, they loaded up an 18-wheeler with food, and their intention was to go down there and help feed first responders that were down there helping. And on the way back, they got to thinking about, first responders and equipment needs and things like that, and they knew that them being firefighters themselves knew there was no piece of equipment that a public safety department needed that they had the funds for. So they came up with this idea of the Public Safety Foundation. And we started out by selling our pickle buckets, $2 pickle buckets. And it's grown to now where it was founded in 2005, and up till now we've been able to make $24 million in donations to public safety entities in 46 states, Puerto Rico, and Canada.
That is incredible. And I know we've been the recipient of at least 3 or maybe more. I think I've lost count at times. I know you've done things for our fire department and now for our police department. Officer Nick, tell us a little bit about what we got. How cool is it and what do you do with it?
It is a phenomenal piece of equipment. It is an EOTech X320 thermal imager, and what it does is it uses infrared energy to basically see heat. So where that's valuable to us is in the open areas at nighttime, especially when it's difficult to see, it immediately picks up the body heat of a human. And where that's useful is, say we're searching in a wooded area for a lost child, a missing adult, or even a suspect who's committed a crime. Traditionally, our SWAT team would use night vision. Well, the limitation with night vision is everything's green. If you've ever seen TV, you see what night vision looks like. It's very difficult to pick up a person when you're searching a large area with night vision. With this, it stands out clear as day. It'll make us quicker when we're responding to those things and really help us serve the community better.
Great. Are you going to do a demonstration for us
Absolutely.
as well? All right. You're going to look through me or anything?
I'm going to let you look through me.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
okay.
All right. I'm taking my glasses off here.
Okay, we'll turn it on for you. And just kind of hold the lens cover to the side, and you can look around and other side, Mayor.
Oh, okay. You got it.
No,
All
upside
right.
down.
All right. Okay. Like this?
Side, not the side
All
facing
right.
me.
All right. Oh, I got you.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
There you go. Oh my goodness. That's something else. Incredible.
Absolutely, and it's, the heat signature from human is super bright. Prior to receiving this on the grant, the only way we had to use this technology was to ask for a helicopter. So if a child was missing or we're searching for a suspect, we would call for a helicopter. Well, then they had this technology on the helicopter, but we had to wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes for the helicopter to get there, and then we could only have it for the length of time it has fuel. Sometimes there would be limitations with tree canopies or coverings where they couldn't see, whereas with this piece of equipment, as soon as we're called, our officers can get out in the woods and begin looking immediately.
Well, it only took you 3 instructions to your mayor to figure out how to use it the right way. So do all of our cruisers have one? Does every officer have one, or do y'all have to share, or how does that work?
No, sir, the grant provided 2.
Okay.
So the SWAT team keeps those. We respond
Gotcha.
to all searching incidents and critical arrest incidents where suspects run and things like that. So that way, every time we have one of the situations, it'll be there immediately.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And Jim, now, if your memory serves you well, do you remember the other grants that we've gotten? I think we maybe got some turnout gear for the fire department a few years ago as well.
Yeah, in 2009, there was an $11,000 grant for the auxiliary fire department for uniforms and turnout gear for them. And then in 2011, it was for hazardous materials training, and we had a grant for that. And then we gave the police department 2 automated external defibrillators back in November of this past year. And that's when I met Alexis, the grant supervisor. And she asked me about this, and I said, sure, we can help.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, $24 million over the lifetime of the foundation is incredible, because a lot of the grants that you make, I won't use the term micro, but they are grants that provide perhaps a certain amount of funding, and it fits the needs for those different departments. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of your grants are probably somewhere in that $5,000 to $25,000 range.
Right,
so,
exactly.
So you've made a lot of impact to a lot of departments around the country because of that.
In Tennessee alone, it's been $1.3 million, and in Shelby County, it's pretty close to $90,000 that we've been able to do since we've been open.
That's great. Now, if people, besides stopping at your store to make a purchase, to have lunch or dinner, mm-hmm. is there a way to find out more about your foundation or to make a contribution as well if they want?
Yes, you can go to the Firehouse Subs website, and it has a link to our foundation website, and you just click on that, and it will tell you how to donate if you'd like to donate through the website, or you can click on a state, and it'll give you information about what's been granted in that particular state. And it's a very good website, and they did a great job putting it together, the people with our Public Safety Foundation.
That's great. We got less than 1 minute left in this segment. Nick, give us an update on SWAT. I know you guys compete on a state or national level, or do you have anything coming up in the near future?
We actually just completed competing in the Indiana SWAT Challenge. We traveled up to Indiana. We had a great time. We actually won an event out of the 6 and finished in the top 10. We love competing. We're continuing to train and just taking work as it comes to us.
Well, thank you guys for being on the show today. We're very thankful for the grant, and I know our police department is thankful as well.
Yeah.
After this short break, we will speak with Daniel Page from the Germantown Community Library. Back after this.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not
not ignore yours. I discovered how to make healthier meals, and I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Each month, more than 20,000 members walk through the doors of the Germantown Community Library. Joining us now is the man who keeps the books flying off the shelves and the customers coming through the doors. Library Director Daniel Page. Welcome to the show, Daniel.
Thank you for having me.
That's almost 250,000 people go through your library each year. No wonder why we got new carpet this year.
That's right. It's amazing. Germantown is such a community focused on education and reading from all ages, and we benefit from that interest.
Lifelong learning is what it's all about, and some
Yes,
of the
sir.
programs that you have initiated have been, one of them is Battle of the Books, which at the taping of this show is just coming to its conclusion. Share with our audience how exciting this has been this year.
It's been a lot of fun. We are inheriting a project that was started by the Farmington Elementary librarian, Jennifer Mock, who's a wonderful librarian and a wonderful person, and she started this a few years ago, and it grew to the point that she asked for some help, and so at the Germantown Community Library, we took over kind of administering the program, and it's been so much fun. We've got to work with a lot of teachers, a lot of students, and a lot of schools. We had about 225 students participate this year, and there's no telling how many books they read. Each student could be required to read up to 36 books. So it depends on which program they're a part of. And it's been wonderful, and we're looking forward to the next year.
And this is statewide, not only regional, but statewide. All three grand divisions, I think. East,
right.
Middle, and West Tennessee were represented.
Yes, sir. And the reason why we made this a statewide competition was twofold. One was we are very much focused on getting as many kids as possible to read. Just as librarians, you know, we want as many kids to read, so making it a more broad audience helped us to accomplish that task. But secondly, we wanted to create as much competition as possible for the students in Germantown. So obviously there are great schools in Germantown, and so if they compete amongst themselves, there's a good level of competition. But if we can bring in other schools, then they have to step up their game a little bit, and it's kind of like you would see for sports teams where they get to compete with other schools in other areas, and it really gets to test their talents.
And we had public, private, and homeschool, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's great.
It was amazing.
Well, it's congratulations.
Thank
we
you.
look forward to the next year
Yes,
for
sir.
Battle of the Books.
Yes, sir.
Switching gears a little bit, let's talk about Books from Birth and the excitement that you've created in our community. We've kind of challenged the community to get involved in Books from Birth. We're a major proponent of that.
Yeah.
Share the success this year. Celebrate, Daniel.
Right. So Books from Birth is another program, and it is a good counterpart to Battle of the Books, where Battle of the Books focuses on 3rd through 12th grade students. Books from Birth focuses on, as the title suggests, children from birth. So from birth to the age of 5, children receive 1 book per month free. So it's just a wonderful program, and they want every child, regardless of their socioeconomic status, to participate. And so Germantown participates at an incredibly high rate. For ending in the 2006 calendar year, they did some research and totaled the numbers, and for 38138 zip code residents, they're at 100% participation, which is amazing.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy. And the 38139 zip code is at 86%, which is still a really high number. So Shelby County, it's an international program, and Shelby County is the largest recipient of books, and Germantown has the highest participation rate, so we kind of feel like we're the best in the world. But you know, they're getting these wonderful books that are they're great quality, they're attractive, and they come with reading suggestions for that parents or grandparents or caregivers can use with the children. So they're not only reading the books with the grown-ups, though they can read them on their own, but they can also, the adults can follow those guidelines and ask them questions and get them engaged even beyond just reading the book. So it's just a phenomenal program. People can sign up at the library or going to the Books from Birth website, and we want as many people to sign up. Our goal is for both Germantown zip codes to be at 100% participation, and we think we're really close. We probably won't know for a few more weeks where we're at right now.
Well, with your excitement, I know we'll get there. We've had great community partners, GMSD, our school district, Methodist Lebanon, Germantown, and our churches have all partnered on this. So great job. Now tell us about the Big Read 3.0, because this is our third year. Tell the community what that is.
So the Big Read is another counterpart to these reading programs that we have, because as you said, what we're focused on is lifelong learning. We want everybody to be reading. We want them to read throughout the year, because the more people read, regardless of their age, the better the community is. You know, you had a representative from the fire department and a representative from the police department, and their jobs are a lot easier the more we read, because crime goes down, economic status increases. There's a lot of benefits for community, and we've known that for a long time. So we want everybody from every age to read, and the Big Read is a really neat program because it encompasses everybody. It's a program that's funded by the National Endowment for the Arts, and also the City of Germantown matches that grant. And we have a lot of partners within the community that do that as well. And the purpose of the program is to try to get everybody in the community to read the same book. And so the book is different each year, and we have a list of books that we can select from. And this year it's going to be True Grit by Charles Portis. So it's a very exciting book. And there'll be all kinds of fun activities that we can do at the library, and we do at the Germantown Community Theater, and there's lots of entities in Germantown that put on events to just get people engaged as much as possible. And again, we want to get everybody in the community to read that book. And it's just a lot of fun.
Daniel, what about summer reading? You know, we're about to end our school year, and so tell the community what kind of programming you'll have so that they don't lose pace of all this activity. Yes.
One of the challenges that you have as an organization that is focused on literacy is you don't want people to stop reading during the summer. So we have a special program, Summer Reading, and we try to get everybody to read. We don't have a specific title like we do with the Big Read. We just want everybody to read as much as possible. And we have a group called the Friends of the Germantown Community Library, and they provide a lot of financial support for the program because we provide incentives for people to read. People usually think of as children engaging in this program, and we do have a lot of children participating. In fact, we are currently the state title holder for the highest percentage of youth in your community who engage in summer reading. So we're very proud of that. And so we just want people to come to the library and read, and we do a lot of special activities to get them to do that.
Daniel, we never have enough time to go over all the things that go on at the library. Thank you so much for being here today.
You're welcome.
I'd like to thank all of my guests for being here, and thank you for taking the time to focus on Germantown. If you'd like more information about this or any other show on Germantown Municipal Television, please visit www.gmtvonline.org. We'll see you when Focus on Germantown returns in the fall.